Okay, let's see. Encounters. Your engines also attract encounters because they run pretty hot. Warp-wise. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Hold on, I have to check the elsewhere charts here. Okay, just checking what other rolls you have to do. Making doubly sure we've got everything covered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, a navigation test at plus 15, plus 20, plus another 20.
Oh shit.
So 55, plus 55.
That's just from, like, what all is that from? Make sure I'm not
That's
overlapping.
from your little warp capsule, from the Martellan charts, and from using the Elseway charts.
That's gonna be fun. Fucking own this warp. While hallucinating.
What'd you get? Oh, 5.7? Okay, and let's see here. You have a Warpsbane hull, so that gives you the opportunity to choose which of the warp encounters you would get you actually run into.
You get to choose it.
Basically, she gets
Choose the
advantage.
form of the destructor!
Yeah, basically she has advantage on the warp encounter check.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, now Zennith, clear your mind.
Not thinking of anything. And if it asks me if I'm a god, I say yes! Oh, am I supposed
That's
to be
heresy.
rolling again the same thing? Or...
Hmm? Oh no, this is just
Okay.
an encounter in the warp.
Okay.
Just making sure that it's something that happens automatically. Oh, make a Synesians test at plus 25. Success?
Success.
Success. So, You see something up ahead in the warp. There's some swirling madness out there that, were the ship to impact it, something would make its way through the Geller fields and infect the crew. So it is up to you. Oh, never mind, these are both physical. So there's difference avoiding physical or psychic phenomena.
Ah.
And that is a plus 30 warp navigation test.
Okay.
At this point, your brain is being partially merged with the ship's computer systems so that you can get absolute split-second decision-making to the engines.
Fucking own that warp.
And okay, and that definitely succeeds, which brings us to the one point where maybe the best pilot on the ship may want to be on the bridge.
I'm on the bridge.
Yeah, so presumably taking over for the head navigator.
Yeah.
In the actual piloting. You are trying to work with the data that Zennith is providing you. Technically, the warp engine only puts the ship into the warp. It's still physically flying through it. You're trying to work off of the data that Zennith is giving you to avoid running into the warp equivalent of a reef or giant rock.
Okay.
Pilot spacecraft, plus 10.
That is
like
actually
warp
under with a plus 10. That is 5 under. Or sorry, no, that's 2 under. I've got a 52 agi.
Okay. And what were we saying, Mike?
Are there like warp demons?
Yes.
The demons live in the warp.
The
Yes.
warp is basically a giant demon.
Well, there's a shit ton of demons in the warp.
That's why when we had the little warp spark plug thing that I pulled out, that's why it was called the demon battery, because it's a battery full of demons. Because that's what the warp is.
Speaking of, do we need to be taking special protective measures with that in the suit?
You presumably have them in some kind of semi-containment cell back in the lab. I mean, true containment of psychic energy is difficult, but you know, you have it in a box.
Restricted access with someone competent watching it, that sort of thing.
You generally don't want to rely on people with warp tech.
Do we have video cameras?
Yes. At the very least, you have servitors and servo skulls. And yes, regular cameras.
Oh, well, those work.
And let's see. No psychic encounters, so Zennith's soul is not tested.
Woo!
Hooray! Okay, so 3 days at warp, or 2.5 days at warp. The ship is reaching the point where Zennith begins to recognize the signs that you are approaching Martellus Prime. Okay, let's see. And you successfully come in upon entry, or you successfully re-enter real space, directly on course to where you are supposed to be.
Oh yeah. That's why I get paid the big bucks in.
Yeah, so precisely as long as Deneb suspected it would be. You are 2.5 days of travel, or 2.5 days have expired in real space. When you exit the warp in the Martellus Prime system.
So wait, I'm not entirely clear on this. Our duration matches the outside duration of 2.5 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes that is not always the case.
I think the thing was like it's not 2.5 days of travel. Like travel is kind of nebulous in the warp, but we were in there for 2.5 days and went an amount of space.
Yeah, basically, if somebody was actively waiting for you, it would have taken you. They would have interpreted you as being gone for 2.5 days, and you interpreted yourselves as being in the warp for 2.5 days. Sometimes those numbers don't sync up.
Yay, clock queue.
In this case, they did.
Surprise.
And
Alright,
oh yes.
sorry, go ahead.
Well, immediately upon translating over from warp, you guys feel it. Something is wrong in this system. The whole crew feels it.
Do we have scanner? Yeah, we have scanners. Are they fixed?
Yes, the scanners are fixed.
Okay, let's take a peek.
You do hear a lot of discontented murmurs rumbling throughout the ship. The crew there's a lot of fear, a lot of paranoia rumbling, tearing through.
I can give an uplifting speech, yes?
Any one of you can make a charm or intimidate test to prevent bad things from happening due to this.
I can do intimidate.
Do I have anything?
An uplifting speech from the captain would certainly be charm, yes.
Last fate roll. I gotta get off at this
Okay.
point. And I use my last fate point to. I just gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, I get you, man.
Good call.
But
Yeah.
I use my last fate point to reroll that 2 or 3.
Okay, yeah, so you drill sergeant those guys into line.
Nice.
The captain does not make a particularly compelling speech.
That's embarrassing. Charm's supposed to be what I'm good at.
Yeah, so you can see the very strange something wrong with its star in the system. It's a sort of pulsing purple.
That is not on a spectral chart I've heard of.
It's a pulsing purple people eater.
There's, occasional swirls of blue and cyan in it.
That doesn't look like a good sign.
Well, at least it's pretty. And I'm presuming that this universe subscribes to the Doctor Who rule of the space things.
Insofar as...
The prettier it is, the more likely it is to kill you.
not necessarily.
Midnight.
I mean, this is suitably bizarre, though. This is not a regular thing.
No, this was, I can't remember the name of it. It's, Martha Jones in it. The one where, amusingly enough, they were sun scoopers.
42 or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who? Then there was that time when there was a Satan's pit, so...